If you're a real estate agent right now and you feel completely stuck, I want you to know something right out of the gate. You are not crazy and you're not bad at your job. The real estate market has changed. Days on the market are stretching. Buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for those rates to drop. Sellers are refusing to lower prices. And the old school tactics of sitting at an empty open house on the weekend for 4 hours or cold calling expired listings from 3 years ago, those are yielding almost zero. So no, you're not imagining it. But here's where I'm going to be straight with you, because you deserve straight more than you deserve comfortable. Most agents right now are waiting, hoping that the market goes back to 2021. But hope is not a business strategy and never has been one. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact shift, the one that lets you stop chasing business and start generating qualified leads predictably in this market with the resources that you already have. So let me say something that's going to sting just a little bit. When money was cheap and homes sold themselves, any agent could make a living. Desperate buyers don't shop carefully. They grab the first agent who answers the phone. Now, money is expensive and homes sit for 90 days plus in some markets. And cautious people shop. And when people shop, they look for a reason to pick someone. And if you don't give them one, they'll find someone that does. So here's the reframe that I need you to actually sit with. The market didn't break your business. It removed the thing that was hiding that it was already broken. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but it's actually the best news you're going to hear all week. Because if your problem is the market, you're helpless. You wait for rates and pray. If your problem is how you're operating, you can fix that this month for free without permission from anyone. In a shifting market, high friction, low leverage tactics die first. They die first because they were always weak. The tide was just covering them up. So if your lead generation is posting just listed graphics on Facebook and social media, and you're asking your sphere if they know of anyone buying or selling, you are competing in a race to the bottom against every other agent doing that identical thing. And here's why it fails. Consumers do not care that you're licensed. That's not a differentiator. That's a minimal. Being licensed means you're not a criminal. Right now, buyers and sellers are paralyzed by rates, by prices, by uncertainty about whether they're going to make a big mistake. They don't need a salesperson. They need a guide who has a clear solution to the specific problems they're sitting in tonight. So if you're saying, "Hi, I'm an agent, let me represent you," that answers a question no one asks. What you need instead is an offer so specific and so obviously valuable that reaching out to you is a no-brainer, a grand slam offer. So there's 4 phases here. Phase 1, envision. And that means getting specific enough about who you serve that you can build something for them. Here's the practical version. Stop offering generic home evaluations. Nobody on earth wakes up wanting an evaluation. They want to know how to maximize their equity in a market where buyers have leverage. They want to know how to afford a payment at today's rates without getting crushed. So don't offer an evaluation. Offer a rate-proof buyer guide. Offer a 14-day maximum equity audit. See the difference? One is a commodity every agent in your zip code offers. The other is a tangible solution to a problem they're actually lying awake about tonight. And it gives them a real reason to trade their contact information for that. And here's the part most agents miss. You don't invent this. You find it. Pull your last 12 months of closings. and ask 3 questions. Which client energized you the most? What life event were they going through? Was it divorce, PCS orders, retirement, first-time buyers? Were they cashing out? And what do you know that other agents don't know from your life before real estate? Your offer is sitting in your closed files. You just never read your own data. Phase 2, eliminate. And this is the phrase no real estate training has ever taught you, which is why everything you've tried dies on about day 9. You started something on Monday, time blocking, 100 calls a day, posting daily on social medias, or tried a new CRM. You held it 9 days. Then a Tuesday goes sideways, and you missed a time block, then 2. And by day 12, you're reacting to whatever is screaming the loudest. And then you decide the problem was you. You're not disciplined enough. That's wrong. And I'm going to give you the actual mechanic. Your week is a closed container. It's already 100% full. So when you add a new behavior, you're not filling an empty space. You're starting a fight between something new, uncomfortable, and unrewarded against something old, familiar, and already producing the feeling of productivity. New loses every time. And that's not a weakness, it's just physics. So run this audit. Last week's real calendar, 1 letter per activity. The first one is going to be production, a live conversation with someone who can hire you or would refer you. Only these produce revenue. Then we're going to go, the next one is R, which is required, contracts, transaction management, showings for existing clients. It's necessary, but that's the cost of your last sale, not the source of your next one. Then the third one is D for distraction. It feels like work, produces nothing. Examples will be MLS browsing with no client, redesigning a flyer, reorganizing your CRM. And the last one we're going to mark is A for avoidance. That task you invented so you wouldn't have to make the calls. And you already know which one's yours. Most agents land at about 4 hours of productivity and 26 hours in distraction and avoidance. On a 40-hour work week, that's 65% of your working life producing 0 revenue. And none of it was wrong. You could justify every item to me right now. It just wasn't the thing that pays. So now we're going to get into phase 3, which is install. So phase 3 is install. And now it'll be a little easier because you're not fighting anything for space. 2 pieces. First, the calendar. The production items that we labeled P is going to go in first before anything else claims a slot. Same day, same times, and it doesn't move for anything that isn't a closing. Batch your required work into defined windows instead of letting it scatter throughout every time block it's near. And take that avoidance activity and don't try to kill it. We'll fail every time. But what we have to do is contain it. Give it 30 minutes on a Friday and it'll stop eating up your Tuesday. Second, the follow-up. Once a lead enters your world, you should not be manually texting them every 2 to 3 weeks asking if they're still looking. That's the highest friction, lowest dignity activity in this business, and it's why you dread your own database. You need automated email and messaging sequence that educate them while they're not ready. Everybody knows because most buyers, when they come in, they aren't ready, but that's okay. The lead who's 12 months out, it's still a lead. Someone's going to close them, and it should be whomever spent 12 months being the most useful to them. Done right, they arrive at your strategy call, already pre-sold. You're not convincing anybody. You're just confirming. So phase 4, tracking. And this is what decides whether you're still doing any of this in 90 days. Real estate is not a guessing game. It's pipeline math. Here's an example. And your real numbers will be different. That's the whole point of track. Say your targeted local ads generate 10 leads a day. Say those convert to 2 strategy calls a week. Say 1 in 2 of those becomes a transaction. Now you're not hoping, you're running an engine. And when volume drops, you know which number moved and you fix that one instead of panicking and rebuilding everything that you just built. But here's the piece that actually saves your career. You install this system and do the work for 3 weeks and nothing happens. No closings. Maybe not even an appointment. But we all know it's because real estate has a 30 to 90 day lag window between conversion and the commission check. So around day 20, your brain runs the only math it can. 3 weeks, no money, this doesn't work, gonna start over. That's the most expensive thought in this industry today. It's the exact moment agents quit systems that were working perfectly 70 days before the payoff was scheduled to land. So we have to track the input, not the output. You can't control closings, but you can control conversations. One number on the wall, how many live conversations did I have this week with someone who could hire me or refer me? If I had 8 last week, 15 this week, it's working. The money is a lagging indicator and it arrives on schedule whether you believe it or not. Motivation is downstream of visible progress. That's why it vanishes on day 20. Give yourself something visible and it doesn't. So if you give yourself something visual to count, that doesn't happen to you. So that's it. Envision, eliminate, install, and track. In that order works. Out of order, it fails on day 9 and takes a little bit of your confidence with you every single time. And I want to be honest with you about something. Phases 3 and 4, you can start tonight alone with what I just gave you. Phases 1 and 2, most agents can't. Not because they're complicated. It's because a vision needs pressure testing against real market demand, or you'll aim 12 focused hours a week at something no one is buying. And elimination need someone outside of your own head telling you to cut the thing you're emotionally attached to. So 3 ways forward. Pick based on where you are. 1, if you want the worksheets from the video for free, find me on Instagram and DM me the word audit. I'll send you the Envision exercise and the elimination audit worksheet, plus our mega open house method training, which is the highest yield thing you can install once you've actually cleared the space. There's no cost, no call, and no catch at all. The second way, if you want me to walk you through it live, I run a free 90-minute training where we do the Envision exercise and the elimination audit together in real time on your actual calendar and your actual closings. The registration link for that training will be first in the description. The third way, if you already know phases 1 and 2 are your problem and you just want to build it, that's our USP identity system. It's 4 weeks, 14 workbooks. The link will be in the description below to get it. But do the first one at a minimum. Run the audit on last week's calendar, 15 minutes. And I'd bet money you would find hours you didn't know you had. Because the market is going to do what the market does. Rates aren't asking your permission. The only thing you actually control is whether the next 28 days getting spent installing something or starting something for the 5th time. I'm Dustin, and I'll see you on the next one.